Hi, welcome to section 3.1. We're on page 68, and today we're going to talk about descriptive adjectives. So, descriptive adjectives describe nouns. In Spanish, adjectives will agree in gender and number with the nouns or pronouns that they describe. So, that's anything as far as like a color. So, like the blue hat, the big airplane, the slow song, those are all adjectives. Okay, in Spanish, they're going to match the noun with number and gender. So it's all going to match. So we're going to go through how to make them match. The ones that may not match because they don't change, all of that. Okay, so adjectives that end in o or or have four forms. So we'll have our masculine form and then our feminine forms. So masculine would be, for example, we have the adjective alto. We'll have alto, altos, alta, and altas. So that's masculine singular. This is masculine plural. This is feminine singular, and this is feminine plural. Okay? So that's for an adjective ending in O. If you have an adjective ending in OR, like trabajador, you'll have trabajador, trabajadores, trabajadora, and trabajadoras. So here, trabajador, that's masculine singular, ores, masculine plural, feminine singular, and feminine plural. Okay? So those are the endings and those are the forms that you're going to use for those adjectives. So you can see in the little chart that that's going to match in number and in gender. So if you're talking about the hardworking man, el hombre trabajador, trabajador matches hombre because hombre is both masculine and singular. So it may not look exactly the same, like it may not match the noun in terms of having the exact same ending, but it's going to match the noun in number and gender, okay? So we also have adjectives that end in E or a consonant. And these are going to have the same masculine and feminine forms. So for these, you're just going to have like the singular and the plural. So inteligente, for example. This will be masculine and feminine singular. And this will be masculine and feminine plural. Okay? So, la mujer inteligente, the intelligent woman, el hombre inteligente, and las mujeres inteligentes, los hombres inteligentes. It'll just matter if it ends in the E, if it's singular or plural. Okay? If it ends in an ending in a consonant like difícil, we'll have this is masculine and feminine singular, and then masculine and feminine plural. So there again, it only matters whether it's got it's singular or plural. Okay, so that's the only thing that's going to change there. All right, so adjective describing different genders will use the masculine plural form. So this is the same thing as we talked about before with the nouns. If you have a group that is mixed with both men and women, it'll just default to the masculine form. So that's what that's referring to here. If you're describing a man and a woman together, you're going to use the masculine form. So whereas if they were individual, you would say, Paco es alto y Ana es alta. If you're describing them together as a group, you're going to say Paco y Ana son altos. With that with that masculine plural form, because Paco is masculine and Ana is feminine. As a group together, that's mixed, so it takes on that masculine ending. Okay, here we have a list in the book of common descriptive adjectives. So, alto, alta, antipático, which means unpleasant, or antipática. Notice that one has an accent on that second A. Bajo, bonito, bueno, delgado, difícil, fácil has an accent on the A. Feo, gordo, grande, guapo. And those, you notice, they have several that have the A at the end. That means that it changes in like for the feminine and masculine endings because it ends in an O, most of those. So alto, antipático, bajo, bonito, bueno, delgado, those all end in an O, so those will also change to the A for a feminine noun. Okay? Difícil and fácil end in an L in a consonant, so that one will not change for gender, it will only change for number. Grande ends in an E, so like the ones ending in an L, that one will only change for number. So you'll just add the S there. Same for importante, inteligente, interesante, and joven. Those will follow the rules for ending in an E or a consonant. And that applies for the rest of them. If you see an O/A, that means that it'll change depending on gender, but the other ones will just add a letter or two depending on whether it's singular or plural. So just make sure to follow those rules. And then we do want to note, okay, that joven, which means young, takes on an accent in its plural form. Jóvenes. Okay? All right, so then we also have adjectives of nationality, and those are formed like other adjectives. So adjectives of nationality that end in a consonant are going to add an A to form the feminine. So, Toño es mexicano, Gloria es mexicana, Héctor es español, Sara es española. Ellos son españoles, ellas son españolas. Okay? Españoles is one that you should make note of because you would think maybe that you would want to add the O to make it masculine, but it's going to follow the same kind of rule as an adjective ending in a consonant, and that's why it's ES, LES, and not LOS. It follows the same rule that's mentioned above about adjectives that end in a consonant. Okay, so we have some adjectives of nationality here. Alemán and alemana. Notice that alemán, the masculine form, has an accent on the A. Argentino, canadiense, cubano, ecuatoriano, español. And if you haven't seen this before, this is another letter in the Spanish alphabet. It gives us the ñ sound. So like in español, it's not español, it's español, and it gives us that sound, that little tilde on top of the N. So that's how you pronounce that in case you hadn't seen that. It's ñ. We have estadounidense, francés and francesa. Notice that the francés has an accent. So does inglés and japonés. And then we see that ñ again on puertorriqueño. Okay, so then we can talk about the position of adjectives. Adjectives generally follow the nouns they modify. So, la mujer rubia es de España. ¿Cómo se llama la mujer ecuatoriana? Now, this is going to be different from the rule in English, because in English, generally, we have exceptions, but generally, an adjective will come before the noun it modifies. So here, it's going to go afterwards, almost always. Okay? This is the one exception, though. Unlike descriptive adjectives, adjectives of quantity, such as mucho or mucha, are placed before the modified noun. So, muchos ingenieros Muchos ingenieros trabajan aquí. This is a descriptive adjective because it's telling you how much. And it modifies this noun. It modifies ingenieros. How many? How much? Muchos. This is going to go before the noun that it's modifying, which breaks the rule. But so this is an exception you need to be aware of. Bueno and malo can be placed before or after a noun. Before a masculine singular noun, the forms are shortened. So we have bueno to buen and malo to mal. So José es un buen amigo o un amigo bueno. Okay, but notice, right, that it's going to change form. So if it goes before, it'll be buen amigo versus amigo bueno. Okay. Let's see. Likewise, the other example, mal día versus día malo. Okay? And then when grande appears before a singular noun, it'll be shortened to gran. So this is whether it's feminine or masculine. Es una gran fiesta. Un gran día. So this is feminine and this is masculine. It's still used the same way for both, but it's shortened when it goes before. Okay. So, the adjective grande also changes its definition depending on its position. So, gran means great. So, like when it's placed before an adjective, before a noun, like we talked about there. Okay, gran. But grande means big or large. So if you're talking about a woman being like great, like that's a great woman, la gran mujer, there's a difference between saying la gran mujer and la mujer grande. This would be saying like, oh, she's a wonderful woman, that's a great woman, versus la mujer grande, that's a big or large woman. So you just want to be careful about how you use that one. Okay? All right, so that's everything for this section. I'm going to do manos a la obra. As always, you're welcome to do the activity with me. You can pause the lecture if you need to. So, número 1. Eres simpático. Now, notice it has simpático or simpática because we don't know who's being spoken to. So it could be a man or a woman that's being spoken to. So we put the OA in order to note that it's going to change depending on who is being spoken to. Simpático. Número 2. Yolanda es And here, okay, let's see. Yolanda es simpática. Nosotros somos simpáticos. Valeria y Marta son simpáticas. Ok, y número 6. Diego es simpático. Okay. Oh, that's número 5. My apologies. Número 5. Okay. Número 6. Tomás y yo somos trabajadores. Ellas son trabajadoras. La médica es trabajadora. Okay. Los niños son trabajadores. Él es trabajador. Okay, and then we have 2 more sets. Soy español o española. Angelina es española. Los turistas son españoles. Nosotros somos españoles. El periodista es español. Ellos son norteamericanos. Clara y Barba son norteamericanas. Ella es norteamericana. Rafael y yo somos norteamericanos. Juan Pablo es norteamericano. All right, so that's it for this lesson. If you have any questions, please let me know in the forum. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you there.